Welcome inside the cold plunge. Just got done doing about an hour and 15 on the bike. Wearing my hot suit, by the way, to help help to sweat a little bit more, sweat out the toxins, sweat out the too much sodium. Been having some pasta lately. Anyhow, welcome. If you've been watching some of these cold plunge diaries, I've moved my plunge into a covered area. Summer's over, basically, and I'm debating a couple of things here. Love cold water immersion, but I'm debating a different type of cold water protocol, or at least product. Maybe something different. Not quite sure yet. But I'm really serious about getting a plunge sauna that I would put right next to me here in this covered area. I think it'd be a great combination to go from sauna, cold plunge sauna, that contrast therapy of hot and cold, which is always smart to do. And I don't know, just still thinking it out. Nothing's wrong with my cold plunge. I got it at 40, I think 42 degrees right now. Had it for over 2 years. Probably averaging, I don't know what I'm averaging. If I've done 300 plunges, so easily a couple times a week on average. Got it initially because I was training for an Ironman triathlon, did it, and then did some more triathlon training, used it, took a break, but still used it. And as right before I jumped in here, I was thinking about, what's my why? Why do we do this? Why do we make ourselves suffer a little bit, even though this is not really suffering? People suffer. This is just being uncomfortable for a few minutes. What's the why? And the why is the clock is ticking. The clock is always ticking. You get to a certain age and you've got fewer tomorrows than you do yesterdays, meaning you've got fewer days ahead of you, and you've crossed the midway point, statistically speaking. Centurions, I think that's the term for people who live to be 100. There's a very, very small percentage of people, and if you're a parent and you've got young kids, the question sometimes may come up, by your kids, will you be here when I'm, so many years old? Or, that's come up to me a couple of times of when I have grandkids, or when I have kids, you'll be a grandpa, and I'm thinking, by the time you have kids, I may not be here. And that's just kind of one of those sobering thoughts. So why do we do this? To make the most of it and to be here as long as possible and to be as healthy and as strong as possible. My son and I talk a lot about, exercise, eating right. We talk about that as ways to live as long as possible. You do that, you live longer. You exercise your brain, you get smarter, you have a higher earning capacity and that kind of stuff, just because if you're smart, you know things, you're better off. And same thing with physical. You take care of yourself, your body lives longer. It's just a vessel. Eat right. Do your best to ward off any ticking time bombs inside, the silent killers, whether it's cancer, high blood pressure, things you just don't see, that you have no control over. Yeah, get a little contemplative here, aren't I? Which is kind of good if you just want to pass the time in 40-degree weather. We can do what we can to prep ourselves to be prepared for whatever comes our way physically. Try to do our best to not put ourselves in harm's way with risky activities or risky behaviors. Sometimes it's out of your control. If something else happens internally that you don't know about, or maybe just your genetic makeup. I hope if my kids watch this one day, they'll understand I'm just doing whatever I can to be there or be around as long as possible, because tomorrow isn't promised. All you have is now. It's okay to be uncomfortable for a few minutes. Yeah. Tomorrow isn't promised. I'm done.
Today's video is brought to you by the Cold Plunge. Use discount code DAVE150 at checkout at thecoldplunge.com. Immediately save $150 off your purchase. That's DAVE150 at thecoldplunge.com. There's also a link below this video.